There is absolute chaos, ladies and gentlemen, in the e-commerce landscape this morning as Trump officially rolled out the tariffs on China goods. And in this video, I want to talk about basically what's happening, some of my thoughts on this, some information directly from China, from my sourcing partner out there that we use for a variety of our stores, and just in general, again, some information and some mindset tips here that I'm going to give you to hopefully ease some tension. So let's get right into it. First of all, these tariffs just got rolled out officially yesterday, February 4th. I didn't make a video on it. I was honestly still trying to figure out how this was going to be enacted, how it was going to go down. But what's really crazy about it is that also the Chinese New Year holiday ended yesterday. At the very least, for some of our partners, they're back to work today officially. So today I woke up to a ton of messages just kind of telling us exactly what this was going to look like. And believe it or not, it's not good, right? It's not great, but it could be much worse, and it could actually get worse still. I don't want to sugarcoat it too much here. Trump did say that he was going to potentially make these tariffs even more substantial if they can't come to an agreement with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. As you see right here, this is a Wall Street Journal article that just came out. But personally, this is just opinion. Anything could happen. I don't think it will get worse than this. I think this is pretty much as bad as it's going to get. And I even think that it can get better from here. Similar to how Trump did with Mexico and Canada. They were able to come to an agreement and he paused the tariffs for 30 days. Now, when it comes to e-commerce, right? I mean, a lot of people are telling me, Ari, dropshipping is dead now. Wow, like there's nothing we can do. I think that's definitely an over exaggeration. I do think that this will affect e-commerce brands, of course, but especially the ones that are already kind of treading a very dangerous path, right? There's a lot of e-commerce businesses out there that are seemingly massive. Like they, let's say, pull 10, 20, 30, even $50 million a year, but are barely scraping by in terms of profitability. Those are the businesses where we're going to see the most brutal effects, I think. Again, these are all speculations. We'll just have to see. But if you're a new person entering into e-commerce, I mean, you have nothing to worry about, right? You can always price in this tariff into your prices. And this is actually what people expect, right? I mean, this is what the news has been saying a lot, is that unfortunately, goods are going to get more expensive for the majority of people out there, largely because we're getting taxed, right? The store owners are getting taxed. Therefore, we need to, charge customers more. It really is that simple. Now, my sourcing partner here, Alan, so this is the Chemilab Accelerator. This is our e-commerce community and research center. We post a lot of stuff in here literally every day, just tons and tons of research. It's pretty unbelievable, the amount of density that we have in terms of value here. And we have a sourcing partner that people that are members get access to. His name is Alan, and he's hands down the most transparent sourcing agent I've ever met. And ultimately, this is what it's going to look like for individual orders that are being shipped from China, right? So this doesn't mean bulk orders. This means if you're literally fulfilling your products from China, right, like one by one, this is what it will look like. 10 to 60% tax depending on the category. And Unexpress right now is putting a $2.75 upcharge on each order. Now, Alan's team so far for some of my products, let's say that I just recently got quoted that I wanted to test after the Chinese holiday, he's declaring the value of those goods as $5. So in total, it will be like an extra $4 upcharge on every single order. So yes, that sucks. That's not great. We hate to see that, right? However, there's still ways to get around that. You can increase your prices. You can charge taxes on your store on Shopify. You can add post-purchase upsells that are going to help you have a higher average order value. All these things are going to help you be a little bit more profitable, which will in turn help you with this, or charge for shipping. I mean, it's a great time to maybe start charging for shipping. An extra $5 per order could cover all of these tariffs and some. So these are a few different ways that we're thinking about to get around it. But again, if you're just starting your business, you're actually in a good position because you can take that pricing and just, create a price that makes sense for your products that you're thinking of testing based on this updated pricing. This really mainly will affect those big players already that are kind of struggling in terms of margins and profitability. This is obviously just going to make it much worse if they're fulfilling in China. The other thing that I'm thinking a lot about, so as you see, there's been a pretty deep discussion in the Chemilab Discord for this, and this is the free section. So feel free to join the Discord for absolutely free. I encourage you to do so. The paid premium sections, we have a full team that is helping provide this research. We have multiple researchers and stuff like that. So that's why it's paid. We need, it costs money to produce that. But there's a free section, and I want this to be like an ecom hub, right? So make sure you join, come in here, and let us know some of your thoughts, or just come hang out. But ultimately, the other thing I'm thinking a lot about is simply testing more international markets. I don't think international markets are going to be obviously as affected, and that's a good thing, especially for those of you that are not in the US. So this is US only, right? Although I do think it's possible that other countries will start to follow suit. The US tends to be the first mover in a lot of things, and the rest of the world tends to follow. And that pattern, you can even see it when it comes to product testing. A lot of the products that work in the US eventually start circulating outside of the US and become winning products outside of the US. So I think that's only going to accelerate from here. And I'm certainly thinking more about using this as an opportunity to start testing international markets again. For the past 6 months or so, I've been heavily focused on the US market. I didn't really foresee this, which I should have, because Trump definitely, made it known that he wanted to implement something like this. I didn't know how it was going to be enacted. But again, it's definitely an overblown issue for new e-commerce store owners, but it is a big deal for businesses that are, already sort of struggling. And if you can't eat that margin, that's going to be pretty rough. So I do think right now is a great time to start thinking about international markets, and that's why it's great to have a sourcing partner, because if you have a sourcing partner in China, they can source any product for you, customize your products, your branding, but then also can ship worldwide, right? So markets like Australia, I'm really thinking a lot about markets like New Zealand, Latin America. I'm very much thinking about Latin America as a potential market to launch more e-commerce stores in. So am I worried? Honestly, I was more worried before. I'm much less worried now than I was, mainly because I'm talking to people in China. I'm seeing how this is all starting up. And although it's still the beginning, it could get worse. I don't think it will. I think it will get better. And ultimately, this is the great thing about being an entrepreneur. You're still in control, right? Like, you can still adapt to the ever changing, news that are happening, and new trends that are happening. It's a good thing to overcome these things. It makes you a stronger business owner. It actually gets rid of a lot of low-level competition, or even high-level competition. Like I said, this will get rid of a lot of big players, which creates opportunity. So volatility creates opportunity. That's the best mindset that you can have when things like this happen, and that's the mindset that I have right now. Personally, I'm not really nervous anymore. I'm seeing how this is, affecting me. It's not too bad. I can take this. It's not very critical. I'm still going to keep doing my thing, sticking to my plan, launching more stores, scaling our clients, building our community, building partnerships. That's still my plan. Nothing really changes. So hopefully this helped you in one way or another. It's still pretty unclear how this will develop over time, but so far, if you are dropshipping with UnExpress, which is the fastest method to dropship directly from China, it's going to cost you $2.75 per order, plus a percentage tax on your declared value, the declared value of your goods, which so far seems to be like $1 to $2 on average. So yeah, like $4 to $5 an extra price per extra taxes per product, which again kind of sucks, but you can get through it. You can add it into your price. You can add different ways in your Shopify store, like taxes or shipping prices, to make that better. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That kind of covers everything that I wanted to mention. Definitely an interesting time that we're living in. A lot of volatility in basically every single market. And yeah, I guess the other thing is getting inventory to the US is still a super valid thing to do. Uh, Alan, our sourcing partner, he has US warehouses that we can ship into. You can do this outside of the US as well. And of course, if you have a US supplier, then you're probably going to be fine if you have a US manufacturer, although they probably won't be fine unless they produce their goods in the US. Because again, imports from China are being tariffed, they're being taxed right now. But yeah, let's see how this develops. Ultimately, this is why I really love having a community. I really love that support that we can give each other, all the new developments that we're seeing with our connections in China, other e-com store owners. It's really nice to have that support and get through this together. Because what are we gonna do? Just quit? Of course not. We gotta adapt. We gotta overcome, and that's the best thing you can do right now. So, with that said, that's about it for this one. Peace.